as you can tell, I'm not from around here. I say y'all a lot. I'm from the South, North Carolina. So happy to be here in Israel. I love Tel Aviv. It's a vibe. You guys are amazing. So why are we here today? We're here to talk about the CNCF in you and growing community in the cloud native landscape. So I'm sure you've seen the letters CNCF a lot, and you've heard about Kubecon, and here we are at Kubernetes Cloud Days, or Kubernetes Community Days, my bad. What exactly is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and why should you be a part of it? So the CNCF is so much more than just letters and events. It's a movement. And so this talk is going to take us on a journey through the cloud native landscape and how the CNCF is helping shape the way we develop and innovate in a vendor-neutral environment, working to solve complex problems through collaboration and community. So here I am. Again, my name is Lorusso. I'm the open source program manager at JFrog, and JFrog is a member of the CNCF, and it gives me the opportunity to talk to you and to promote the CNCF all over the world, which is amazing. That's a picture of me and my daughter. It's don't let everything you see believe. She's smiling, I'm smiling. This is like 9 hours into a car ride to get home. But south of the border is this place in South Carolina, which I think you can see the big sombrero behind it. And so had to get out of the car, take a picture, get gas, and get going. We had like another hour and a half to go. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter or link in with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to talk to you. Okay, so what exactly is the Cloud Native Computing Foundation? This is a picture from the CNCF's Instagram page, and it starts with humans, right? We may be building tools that automate processes, right? We need the machines, but it starts with humans and it starts with us. So the foundation's mission is to make cloud native ubiquitous. But what does that mean, ubiquitous? That's a huge word. So it means present, appearing, found everywhere. So we're a community of technologists that are using modern cloud-native technologies that are highly scalable in public or private or hybrid infrastructures. We love the cloud, we love the power it brings, and we love what it does to make our jobs better, faster, and easier on the daily. So where does the CNCF really fit into our mission? It's with our CNCF projects. We have 153 projects and nearly 200,000 contributors. So how are we paying it forward? We're bringing cloud native to the world. So you'll see a lot of QR codes in my presentation for a couple reasons. I know people like to take pictures of slides, but I want to get you right to where you want to be. Also, as you can tell, my slides are very ugly, so there's no point in taking a picture of them. So this might seem like a weird request, but I encourage you to go to read the CNCF charter on their GitHub page. And why am I saying that? It's because you should make sure that when you're looking at foundations and communities that your value system aligns with their value system. So what does the CNCF believe? It believes fast is better than slow, right? So we're humans, but we're making the machines so we can move fast and get our jobs done. We believe in open source values. So everything is transparent, right? That's the love and the value of open source. It's vendor neutral. It's organizations like IBM and Microsoft and Dell and AWS and Google and all the big names coming together to work collaboratively to solve a problem. Competition does not exist. In that, we're fair. You can't pay to play. Everything is transparent, so we can see what's going on. And just like this conference, there was no sponsored talks. That's what's behind the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. It's open, it's honest. And what does that lead us to? A strong technical identity. Any project that gets accepted into the CNCF has gone through a serious process, a rigor. It is not easy to get accepted. We have a TOC, which is a Technical Oversight Committee. Andrew's coming up on stage next, and he's the co-chair of the Supply Chain Security Tag. There's all these different pieces of the CNCF that makes it the standard today for companies to submit projects and proposals into the cloud native space. And what does that last thing mean? Clear boundaries. We want projects to evolve, but we also want to make sure that they're innovating. Like, we don't want projects to get stuck. So again, we have organizations, boards like the TOC that helps nurture this focus on new innovation, helping to move projects forward through the graduation stage. Scalable, I mean, that's the key, right? So a mom and pop shop or an organization with 100,000 developers can still use the same technologies to get the job done fast. And lastly, we're platform agnostic. We don't want to tell you what to use. We want to go where you're at and give you the tools to make your life easier. So what is the project lifecycle? Ooh, look at this nice little curve. So there's 3 stages. There's sandbox, incubating, and graduated. So sandbox are those experimental projects, right? They're on the cutting edge of technology. They haven't been tested yet very much. They don't have a lot of users, not a lot of adoption, but there's something there. There's that spark that makes a TOC say, yeah, we want this one. We want to make this grow. We want to see what it can do. Then you have incubating projects, and most of our projects are in the incubating stage. So that means they've got users, they've got contributors, and they're just still trying to figure out what the end goal is and how they're going to get there. And lastly, we have graduated projects. So these projects stand on their own. They're stable, they're widely adopted, they're production ready, they have thousands of contributors, tons of users. And as you can see here, from when CNCF started to now, we have the majority of our projects are in the sandbox and incubating phase, and we have quite a few that have graduated. So what happens? Why do you get stuck in sandbox or incubation? Well, as we all know, technology changes. So maybe something that you did got replaced by another technology in your project, so you're still trying to figure it out. The ones that are incubating or in the sandbox phase, like those are cutting edge. That's the hard stuff. That's making the magic. You guys make magic. Projects that are submitted in the sandbox phase are like trying to figure out the secret sauce. And then graduated projects go through a serious rigor to get out of the status of incubation. So how do you guys recognize any of these graduated projects? Does this guy look familiar at all? So we've got Kubernetes, Argo, Flux, OPA, all these cool projects have graduated out of the CNCF, and I'm pretty sure your companies use them today. So how are we going to go on this journey? Okay, keep in mind, sometimes I stay up late, so things get a little weird. So it starts with a pain point, right? So we are all now developers on the company called KCD Israel. And what are we trying to do? We are trying to get our product to work more efficiently and effectively and faster. And what have we discovered? Well, we've discovered that the people we inherited the code from, we love them, our old school developers, just kind of got clunky along the way. They have all this extraneous code everywhere, and it's to the point where we start calling this code, where's Waldo? Where's Effie? Because it just pops up out of nowhere, and you're like, why is this here? This doesn't make any sense. Just like Waldo, you're like, you open the book, and he's like in a zoo, and there's animals, and there's all these things, and then boop, there he is, for no reason. So, there he is. Hi, guys. So we figured out that we have a pain point, and at JFrog, we always start with the why. So why do we want to create this open source project? Well, again, we inherited a code base that was clunky. We've got our Waldo code that we cannot stand. So what do we need? And we sit down and we think about this, and we need an automated process. We need to be able to identify code and classes and variables that are unnecessary. We need to have recommendations for removal, and we need notifications. Why do we need all of this to be automated? It's because it's a painful manual process to go into the code base yourself to try to find the things that are making things slow. So let's create something. Now this is where I may have been a little tired. So we're calling it Project Waldon't, because we don't want Waldo. Yeah, you can laugh or not, it's fine. So what is Waldon't? It's an AI-powered bot that analyzes your code base. So it scans your code for those classes and variables that you aren't using. It creates a pull request with recommendations to clean up the code. And the best thing is that it gives you notifications where you're working today, which is in Slack. So you don't have to keep going back in to check what's happening. You get that notification right there in your Slack. And then you can determine what you want to do with the pull request. Do you want to change it? Do you want to update it? What do you want to do? Hey, there he is. Okay, so we started developing our project. Now what, right? It's all housed under our company, KCD Israel. How do we make this project get better? Well, we need to create a community. So how do we do that? Well, we need users and we need contributors so that we win. So what can we do? Well, we can submit to conference talks so we can tell everybody how Wall Don't is going to save them time, money, energy, proficiency, all these great things because it's going to find that code and clean it up. We can write blog posts about it. We can get social, go on LinkedIn, Twitter, Reddit, Mastodon, all those places that people are at, and we can just tell them about it. Try and engage. We can podcast. We can talk about it. We can do Twitch. We can do live streaming, showing people how we use our code and how it's working for our company. We can do YouTube, all these things. Or we can just try and have our day jobs and work. So what do we want to do? What do we want to do? Where's my animation? Oh, because we want to, there it is. We want to propose it to the CNCF. Like I said, bad slides. Okay, so what is the incubation flow? So first, let me just tell you, when you sit down and you think, yes, my project is ready to grow and I want the CNCF to help my project grow, go check out the proposal page. There are lots of questions, okay? Lots and lots and lots of questions. This is not a sprint. You're not gonna submit your proposal today and get approved tomorrow. It's a marathon. And where does it start? It starts with you and entering as much information as you can in that intake form. If they say, how does this improve the CNCF landscape? And you say, well, I think it's cool. That's not gonna help you at all. And why is that? Because there's this huge, you need a TOC incubation sponsor. So they're gonna look at your proposal and they're gonna say, this is good, this isn't good, fix it. Then what do? You have to give a presentation to a SIG. You have to tell them why this project is good and what it does. Then what happens? Oh, this part right here, the part we all love, due diligence. They're gonna scour your project. They are gonna interview your users. They're gonna look to see if you've got governance in place, what kind of technologies are you using? Are you doing what you say you're doing? Yeah, it's good stuff, right? This is why being a CNCF project is huge for your reputation. Then you have your due diligence review period, your TOC review presentation. Then we open it up to the community so they can, it's a request for comments. They can comment on what you've done, what you've said, and what they've seen. Are you tired yet? Then we get the TOC vote. And if they say all of these things, check, 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 boom, you're in. You're now incubating. So again, marathon, not a sprint. Throughout this entire time, you should continue to be working on your project to make it better. But just know, once you get to this point, you're in. And what does that mean? Again, this is just what we talked about. What does that mean? It means you are now part of the community. And the CNCF is like the secret sauce of trying to help your project grow. It's a foundation of doers, right? You are not alone. Now you have a group of admins behind you. You have collaborators. You've got the Linux Foundation. You have all of these things that are going to help you learn those things that you didn't know when you were just trying to clean up a code base, right? Now you're going to be in a position that your project can grow and people can grow projects based on your project. It's going to be so cool. Okay, so here are some of the benefits that you get by being a project in the CNCF. Reputation enhancement, I feel like I've kind of beat that one down. Marketing, we're going to help you build your website. We're going to look at your website. Maybe you need a new logo. Maybe you need this. Maybe you need that. We're just going to help fix you up. Program management, I think, is something that people don't ever think about. But you have project governance, you have admin support, and you have security audits. So you need to have Zoom meetings set up. You need someone to help you create your committees. You need someone to do all the back-end work. You need your GitHub repo cleaned up. You need all of these things. Well, that's what the CNCF can help you do. They assign a project leader, and that project person helps you move the project along. You get legal services. Or you have a trademark violation. How's your copyright going? You get tools. So again, you need Zoom. You can't afford Zoom. You're an open source project. Don't worry about it. We got you. We got your Zoom. We got your Slack. We got your LastPass. Your HackerOne account for bug bounties. We've got you covered. And the other thing that's super cool is there's services. Have y'all heard of cloud credits? You know how cheap they are? No. So we have places in, we've got support in place from AWS, Google, Microsoft to give you cloud credits. There's criteria to show you how to get through graduation. There's website templates to make sure your website is going to attract those users that you're looking for. There's tons of things that we give you because look at all that you had to go through to get here. There's also certifications and trainings so that you can stay apprised of all the technologies that's happening. So if you're like zeroed in on your project, you're not going to be missing anything because they're going to be like, hey, over here, we can make you do that faster because look, this is happening. Go get training and then come back and add it to what you're doing. So here's something you should all do. You should all take a picture of that, scan it, and find out if your company is a member. Because everything that I said that is available for projects is available at a certain level for individual members as well. Training, certifications, all those things. If you are a part of the Slack channels, you can like see all of this stuff. So I also highly encourage you to join the CNCF Slack channel. What we're not is we're not people that are just trying to take money from corporations. We're putting that money directly back into projects to help them grow. So again, this is something for you to think about. You know, you can learn and develop yourself in CloudNative with the CNCF. If your company is a member, there's trainings, there's all sorts of things that you can do as part of the CNCF community to help you elevate your skill set. Mentorships and internships drive growth. So the CNCF has funded nearly $1 million in internships and mentorships over the year. If you need help, we want to help you. That's what we're here for. It's called community, and it's so awesome. So you're never again alone. We have ambassadors. So perhaps you have an ambassador that's working on your project. What are they going to do? Well, on your behalf, they're going to submit a talk to KCD Israel, and they're going to come up here and talk about the value of your project and why Wall Don't is the best thing ever and why everybody should adopt it. It's going to get you more users, more contributors, adopters, all kinds of cool stuff. Additionally, maybe you want to give the talk. So ambassador is going to help you maybe build out your presentation, show you how to do it, all kinds of cool stuff. And lastly, you can come to our events, right? Kubecon, CloudNative Con, CloudNative community groups, and then Kubernetes Community Days. So being a part of the CNCF, whether you're at a project level and we're helping you go from sandbox to incubation to graduation, or being an individual member where you're on the Slack channels and you're contributing to projects, one way or another, you're part of this huge community. Look at this community right now. Look at this room. It's full. So I encourage you to check everything out and, thank you. And, Wall Don't. What can I say?